If you're earning $200,000 to $300,000, maybe more, but you still feel like your money is disappearing every month, you're not alone. I'm Megan, certified financial planner. Our firm and our team specializes in working with higher income professionals with graduate degrees, typically comes with student loan debt, but a lot of our clients often say, I make great money, but I don't know where it's going. Today, I'm going to walk you through a clear and simple approach to start cash flow management or budgeting, if you want to call it budgeting. So you can stop feeling like your money is running the show and you can start telling it what to do. Here's why high income earners often feel cash strapped. One is lifestyle creep. This is no stranger to really anybody who sees their money increase over time. As income goes up, so do spending habits. We're treating ourselves more, we're doing more, we're buying bigger, we're spending more money as we're making more money. Variable pay is another thing that can be somewhat of a challenge. We have bonuses or equity or side income that comes in that's not consistent, not as consistent as like a regular paycheck. So it can make budgeting or planning for that income and planning for expenses off of that income hard. Another big challenge for high income professionals is you've got big financial goals yourself. You're paying down student loans likely. We talk about that a lot on this channel. We're saving for kids' college. We're trying to max out retirement, maybe buying a house. And a lot of times this is happening all at once. So our dollars are going in a lot of different places. Cash flow isn't just about budgeting, it's about alignment, making sure that your spending reflects what you actually want for your life, for your future, and for your goals. Part two of this conversation, we're going to jump into a cash flow system that works. And this can be super helpful for folks, especially who have variable income. There's a framework I use that with clients that it's simple, it works no matter what your income is, and it's called the 3-bucket cash flow strategy. Bucket 1 is where we put our essentials. This is typically where 50 to 60% of our net pay goes to cover your must-haves, like the mortgage or rent or groceries, insurance, minimum loan payments, childcare, the required necessities to maintain your life. Bucket 2 is your flex spending. This is where maybe 20 to 30% of your net income is going to, or this is the range you want to shoot for. This is lifestyle stuff. So restaurants, vacations, entertainment, Amazon, Target. You get to enjoy your money, but with intention. And if you know what parameter to stay within, this 20 to 30% of your net income, then you can spend with intention and not limit yourself to having to categorize every single expense and giving every single category a budget, which can be exhausting. Bucket 3 is where your savings goes. So 20 to 30% of your net income we should be having going towards your goals, which typically means saving for something. This is where your wealth grows. So think Roth IRAs, taxable investing, extra payments towards student loans. This does still grow your wealth because it's reducing your liabilities, increasing your net worth. Down payment savings. Let's say that's a goal to purchase a home in the future. 529s for your kids if it's a goal to save for education. We often automate buckets 1 and 3, which reoccurring payments, so automated bill pay for the bills, the necessities, the essentials that we have in bucket 1, set those up on auto pay from our checking. And bucket 3, we also automate. That's our savings. That's what we have going towards these goals in the form of savings accounts, investment accounts. And what this does is if we're automating buckets 1 and 3, this gives us freedom to spend within that parameter, the 20 to 30% in bucket 2, the flexible expenses. So that way you can spend without guilt. Part 3 of this conversation is pro tips for you high income earners. A few things I always emphasize with my high income clients. One would be track once and automate often. You don't need to budget every coffee or every single expense, but you do need to review your big picture spending at least quarterly. We'll talk about some tools to help you do that here coming up. Tip 2, use multiple checking accounts. Use one for bills, so bucket 1, the essentials, and use one for lifestyle, bucket 2, the freedom flexibility fund. Keep things clean and organized so you know where money should be coming from and how much we have left to be spending out of those buckets. Tip number 3 is redirect your raises or your income increases. When your income jumps, send increases to your savings or to your goals before lifestyle creep sets in, because that is fast. I'm telling you, when you know you have a pay increase coming, go ahead and start increasing your contributions to retirement or towards your savings, a couple percentages. So it's easy to just get it out of sight, out of mind. And tip number 4, don't forget about taxes, especially if you have equity comp, 1099 income, or RSUs. Surprise tax bills are not fun. They can be real though. So if you have some of this extra income coming in, make sure you're doing some tax planning to set some money aside to anticipate how much we're going to have to pay at tax time come April 15th. Part 4, I want to talk about some tools for budget automation and for management. I really like a tool called Monarch Money. This is what the dashboard of Monarch Money looks like. It is a sample. It's no one's real information here. Don't panic. But it gives us a quick peek at a lot of different things. Our net worth, our spending trends, our transactions, reoccurring expenses, and any goals that you're putting in. When you get set up with Monarch Money, what you do is you link the different accounts that you want to track. So checking, savings, credit cards. This is an example of just the different accounts it can link. What it'll do is pull through the balances to help get a picture of your net worth, but it will also pull through your transactions. And this is where the budgeting magic happens and the cash flow management happens. Transactions will this software will try its best to automate and categorize things as it goes on. It does learn as you continue to tell it what certain things are. If it's not sure, it didn't pick it up correctly, you can change anything here. So for example, let me just see. Let's say Walmart. I always go grocery shopping at Walmart. Let's just say that that's the case. So I'm not going to consider this as a shopping category. I'm going to consider this as groceries. And what I can do is create a rule that every time I go to Walmart, it's going to show up as groceries instead of shopping. You can save that rule, and going forward, it will always categorize that merchant as that category that you told it, and it will go and look back to see if there's any transactions that it needs to swap from shopping to groceries. So pretty cool here. You could set up rules for just about anything. And once you've gotten to take a look at all the transactions, everything's looking good, you can do some cash flow analysis. I love this page because it gives us a beautiful bar graph on where our money went over the course of the month. So let's take a look at May. It's going to show us the income that comes in. So we've got our paycheck income, maybe our business income. You could separate your spouse's paycheck from yours. You can identify it and create a rule to make sure it picks up every time yours gets deposited and your spouse's gets deposited if you want that separation. And then it will show our categories down in expenses. So it will give us an idea of where our money's going on a month-to-month basis, as long as we've kind of audited those transactions and they look okay. If anything ever looks like out of the ordinary, so let's say, wow, like I definitely didn't spend this much in my auto payment. You can click into that to see what went awry. And then maybe it has something that's not actually an auto payment, but it's groceries or gas for the car or something. So you can make that change and fix it right then and there and go back to cash flow and it would update. But this is a great look month by month or quarterly. You could switch it to quarterly to take a look at your total income and your expenses, your savings rate. So that's how much money was not allocated towards a specific expense. That money either accumulated in checking or you moved over to savings. You could also look at this year by year as it collects more data, as you use this on an ongoing basis. But this does a great job of giving us some awareness on where money goes and how we can plan and prepare to add in new goals in the future. If we wanted to start saving for a particular goal, we know how much extra we have at the end of the month that we can dedicate towards that goal. Or if we want to just get a look at how much are we spending, or if we just want to get a look at how much we're spending in a particular area, this can be super helpful to do that for the awareness. You can create budgets over time if you'd prefer to have an idea of how much you should be spending in certain categories over time. You can get as detailed or as vague and general as you want in Monarch. You can also add goals and assign accounts to those goals to keep track of how close you're getting towards accomplishing that specific goal, that amount that we're saving for or amount that we're paying down. So Monarch Money, a great option. If you're an SLP Wealth client, we do offer that as part of your membership with us. You can also purchase this independently as just an independent user. Other budgeting apps out there, YNAB probably deserves a shout out. That's YNAB. you need a budget. This is a very thorough zero-based budget tool. It is something that you have to monitor and maintain over time for it to be useful. But if you like that level of detail, that's a good option to compare to Monarch. You could also use good old-fashioned Excel or pen and paper to track your budget. This Monarch or some of these tools that aggregate the data just make it easier to see things real time and add up numbers pretty quickly versus something that's on paper or maybe something that you've built in Excel. So to wrap things up, managing cash flow as a high income earner doesn't mean penny pinching necessarily. It means aligning your money with your values and your goals. When you have a plan, you gain confidence, clarity, and control. That's a big part, control. And that's what we're all about here at SLP Wealth. If you're ready to take the next step, we do work with clients every day in these scenarios, high income professionals, folks who have lots of student loan debt that want help getting to their next goals in the most efficient way possible and desire a system that works for them. That's what we do here. Check out the link down below for more details on how you can become an SLP Wealth client. If you liked this video, make sure to like, subscribe, share with a friend, leave us a comment on what questions you have about managing your cash flow or your own budget. We'd be happy to help. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining.